First impression hack. According to scientific research, the brain forms its first impression of a person within the first 7 seconds. And this first impression is based on the person's behavior, tone of voice, and posture. It's difficult to correct it afterward, but it's possible to shape it beforehand. In other words, even before you open your mouth, your posture and facial expressions speak for you. The brain produces answers to questions like, is this person dangerous, trustworthy, or interesting? Within seconds. That's why the first few seconds of flirting are silent but very talkative. And with the tips I'm about to give you, the first impression you make will be as attractive as possible, as if you were hacking into the other person's mind. Now, when making eye contact, don't look away, but don't stare either. A smile is a signal that says, I have positive feelings toward you. Pay attention. I don't mean a big grin, just a small smile. Keep your shoulders back and your chin up. Congratulations, you've already given the person across from you the impression that you're a very attractive man. What should you do next? Don't worry, I'll teach you all the effective hacks you'll need for each step. Practice this posture for 10 seconds every morning in front of the mirror. This practice will not only boost your confidence in those moments, but also send positive signals to your brain, changing the way you see yourself. Mirror neuron hack. You know, during flirting, your body speaks as much as your words do. But what I'm about to explain may be a little unethical. Here's the thing. When you slightly mirror the other person's behavior, the following signal is sent to their brain. This person is like me. The scientific basis for this is that mirror neurons work when you mimic the other person's facial expressions, tone of voice, or gestures. The social effect of this is that you trust someone more when you see yourself in them. And when you trust someone more, you are much more likely to get closer to them and form a bond. What you need to do is, if the person in front of you is leaning slightly to the side, you should also turn your body slightly in that direction. If they frequently make a certain gesture, you should also start using that gesture after a while. But remember, it should look natural, not forced. So be careful not to overdo it or make it obvious, otherwise the effect could backfire. I want you to use this mirroring technique in at least one conversation a day. Even something as simple as your sitting position, or whether your arms are open or closed, can create harmony. You can even practice this while watching your favorite YouTuber. The laughter hack. Laughter is not just a reaction. It is also a tool for building connections. The brain releases dopamine when you laugh. Dopamine works in tandem with feelings of closeness, so when you laugh with someone, you not only find them more enjoyable, but also more trustworthy and attractive. In addition to all these scientific foundations, we will reveal a hack that creates incredible charisma just by adding one more thing: laughing at yourself. Yes, someone who can make fun of themselves sends the following signal to the other person: I am at peace with myself. Believe me, there is no more effective way to impress someone than to send the signal: I am at peace with myself. Of course, except for the hacks I will explain later. For example, I wonder how I didn't notice you until today. I guess I couldn't see over my big nose. These kinds of small jokes put the other person at ease in a flirtatious setting. Not only does it make you appear confident and charismatic, but the other person also feels like they can be themselves around you. If you're hesitant to make jokes about yourself, which you shouldn't be, you can try writing your first self-mocking sentence in the video's comments section. Trust me, the reactions you get will put you at ease. Open-ended questions hack. Communication is not just an exchange of information. It is also the building of emotional bonds. And bonds are formed through deep conversations. In this section, I will explain the shortest way to build bonds. One of the most common mistakes in flirting is asking questions like, "What do you do?" or "Where are you from?" These questions produce short and limited answers, and are also boring. What has excited you the most lately? Have you ever heard a sentence that changed your life? Questions like these both open up the conversation and create mental alignment. They take you out of the ordinary and add an intellectual vibe. Prepare 5 original open-ended questions and use them during your first flirting opportunity. To prepare these questions, it would be a wise choice to seek help from ChatGPT. I will explain 2 incredible hacks you can use when answering the person's questions in point 8 and the bonus point I will give. So stay tuned. The mystery hack. People who explain everything at once are easy to figure out. The mind is drawn to uncertainty. It's in our nature. Mystery in flirting makes you intriguing, not unreachable. Of course, I'm not saying you should sit there silently without saying a word. What you need to do: give open-ended answers to some questions. Questions will keep coming to learn more. You, on the other hand, keep giving answers that aren't clear to those recurring questions. Let the other person be a little curious. People are drawn to what they're curious about. In a conversation with the person you're flirting with, consciously leave at least one piece of information mysterious. The hack is complete. You're now more attractive. Framework creation hack. Who determines the direction of the relationship? In the flirting process, the person who first sets the framework is usually not the dominant one, but the one who is respected. If you have boundaries, values, and preferences and you show them, the other person's mind receives the following signal directly. This is a strong person. I should respect them. For example, I don't like people looking at their phones during meetings. Honesty is essential for me in communication. I am someone who likes to take things slowly. There is a fine line here. You are not saying don't look at your phone. You are saying, I don't like it when people look at their phones. This takes your statement out of the realm of a command and turns it into, this is my line, and if you want to be with me, you have to follow it. And yes, this is definitely the most important factor in making you a person worthy of respect. Write down at least 2 of your values. Bring them up naturally during the dating process when the opportunity arises. Also subscribe to get access to more hacks and buffs like this. Scent and memory hack. Scent is directly connected to the limbic system, the emotional center of memory. So you may forget a moment you spent with someone, but you'll remember the scent from that moment. The brain records scents and recalls emotions through scent. Studies show that people with pleasant scents leave a more positive impression on the opposite sex. The key here is to always use the same scent. Choose a unique, non-overpowering, long-lasting perfume. If possible, make it your signature scent. Use the same scent during flirting moments. This will make you an unforgettable person. Micro-expression reading hack. Flirting is not only about what is said, but also about how one looks, how much one smiles, and even when one's eyebrows move. These are known as micro-expressions. They are emotional signals that appear on our faces for a few seconds, but disappear immediately. Micro-expressions are involuntary. They are controlled by our subconscious. That's why they are the most honest reactions. If the eyes are avoiding contact, the person may be nervous. If the eyebrows are slightly raised, they are interested. If the lips are pursed, they may be feeling conflicted. If they are playing with their hair, they are openly flirting. To pick up on these cues, all you need to do is look closely. In the future, this skill could turn you into a kind of flirting detective. Bonus ultimate hack. Most people don't listen. They just wait for their turn to respond. But active listening is a powerful hack that sets you apart from ordinary flirters and makes you someone to be taken seriously. Waiting only for your turn to speak, interrupting shows you as disrespectful and not confident. Making the other person feel heard does the opposite, and it's far more impactful than you might think. And the good news is, it will be really easy to do that with the things I'm about to explain. Make eye contact, but not in a questioning way, but in an interested way. Listening with your head slightly bowed triggers the compassion center of the brain. Give small affirmations. Are you serious? Wow. By doing these things, you send the following message to the other person. I am valuable, and people prefer to stay where they feel valued. This week, activate the active listening hack in 3 different conversations you have. At the end of the conversation, ask yourself, did I really listen, or did I just go through the motions? Which hack was your favorite? Write it in the comments.